Welcome back to High Stakes. In this video, this thing was only €7 after all, so they're hardly going to put Mickey Mouse on it. And what's a famous chicken? What's a famous chicken? They're hardly putting foghorn, leghorn amounts of chicken on here.
I say, what's the big idea bashing me on the noggin with a rolling pin?
We checking out all the cheap eats.
That's my first Barra ever. Really like it.
What are cheap eats? Anything that costs less than €10. So we're going local favourites in the Netherlands that are household names. We're going to Surinamese food. We're going to Turkey, and we're trying anything in between that fits our modus operandi. Come with us, because if the video does well, we're going to recreate it many times over and make it viral. Let's go. Thank you.
Cheap eats number 1. Rosti focaccia. So Rosti is pretty new in the street here, Jan Pieter Heijenstraat, and they do focaccias and Italian sandwiches, fresh, homemade. As you could see in the back there, the chef is making it there. Vegan with tomato, olives, fresh and hot. First bite. Oily, fresh tomato, salty from the olives. Great snack, great start of our tour. This slice of heaven will cost you €4.
Alright, behind me you can see a big, grey, dark, boring building that contains HEMA, a Dutch giant. Effectively what I'm doing for this video on Cheap Eats is packaging up supermarket food and passing it off as cheap food. But there's a good reason why. First of all, it's an institution. If you're Dutch, you know HEMA, and you know the rookworst. Get in on that. The rookworst is a pork sausage, which is smoked. Smell it from the other side of the room. And Steph's going to be smelling my burps with the garlic coming out of this for the next 4.5 days. These come in 2 different versions, either inbred or on their own, which means you end up just holding a greasy stick of pork in your hands with a napkin wrapped around it, dripping mustard on top. So this is the distinguished and sophisticated way to eat a smoked sausage from HEMA. It's such an institution here that they now offer it in the supermarket, and you can buy the make-at-home rookworst kits. So that should say enough about how good this is. It's absolutely classic. I'm going to have a bite. Get some of that mustard, squirt it across the top, try and smother it out. These sachets are definitely not the ideal vessel for transferring mustard to mouth. Right, here we go, big bite. Fatty, porky, smoky as hell. This little thing here cost me $5.25, $4.25, $3.25. I don't remember.
Next cheap eat, a wrap full of happiness called Macho. And it's a Middle Eastern wrap. I have the veggie version, vegan version of course, filled with minced veggies, parsley, red onion, garlic, lettuce, tomatoes of course. Interesting enough, the vegan one is more expensive than the chicken one that Tom has. But looks good, grilled. I'm gonna take the first bite. It tastes exactly how it looks like, fresh, herby, and what I mostly get is the parsley, the fresh tomatoes. Lekker snackje for this snack day.
Exact same thing for me, except mine simply said kip. And if you don't speak Dutch, that means chicken. So mine is the chicken version, and I asked for it with everything. That's right, everything, because I'm tough and Steph's also tough, but in different ways, and I love her. You can see inside, it appears to be sort of some kebab shop style chicken, a garlic sauce, lammerkuchen, lammerkuchen is a flatbread, and the base of the flatbread is sort of like a diced tomato and peppers flatbread, and then everything else is an addition. So at its base, we have the same thing, dressed up differently. Time for a snacky. I think I've got some mushroom, artichoke, it's hard to tell. There's a very small amount of chicken. It was only €7, you've got to remember, so they're hardly putting foghorn, leghorn amounts of chicken on here. That's a throwback reference, I'll link what he looks like up in the top. I mean, yeah, it's very simple, good snack all around. Let's see what else we can find. Next cheap eat. This is a barra, which is a Surinamese dish or South Indian. If you've never had this before, the only way I could describe it is sort of like overworked bread dough. It's very fragrant, and it's like bread but not bread, because they make it with legumes or chickpeas. It's sort of You feel like it should be familiar, but then there's something foreign about it. It's very fragrant, very good. It's normally not eaten as a main. It's normally eaten as a side with spicy chutney. We opted for the filled versions. Mine is filled with a beef rendang, obviously being sort of an Indonesian Surinamese fusion. I'm looking forward to this one. And Steph got the tempeh, which you'll see in a bit. So, without further ado, I'm going to have a big mouthful of this messy thing. And now here's me taking a bite of Steph's, because the audio wasn't recording when I had a bite of mine. So, if you'll indulge me in pretending this is filled with rendang. That beef is slow cooked, very spicy, very fragrant, fall apart tender. Really glad that I chose this option. And indulgement. Thank you very much. Back to your scheduled programming.
Not much to add. Tom, of course, described the bara itself really well just now. And for me, the difference is that I have tempeh, and I'm not sure how it's marinated or whatever, so I'm just going to have a little bite of just the tempeh so I can let you know what I'm experiencing. So the tempeh is marinated in soy and sweet chili sauce. I'm going to have a bite of the bara right now. It's my first bara ever. Really like it. The dough is very unique, very squeaky kind of dough. Great combination with the salty tempeh. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. I hope you'll appreciate our tips and try them out when you're in Amsterdam. You'll save some money there because you'll go directly to the right places. My personal favorite, the bara. I cannot believe that I finally tried some Surinamese food for a price that is very affordable and it suits anyone's budget. Don't forget to like and subscribe. We really appreciate your support. See you next time. Ciao!